All right. Are we live? Are we live? We got to be live at this point. First, I want to take a second and just thank everybody who has subscribed. It means the world to me. It's been a tough time for my family. So if you're new, you can hit subscribe. Free for you to do. It means the world to me. And I've been asking people if you pray, if you give praying a chance, give prayer a chance. Pray for Jesus to resurrect my radio career, just like he resurrected himself. Was it last weekend? Was last weekend Easter? Was it? Yeah, I think it was. See, that's what I mean. The past month has been a blur. Big jambalaya of a life. It's been tough. I can't tell which way is the weekend, what day it is, what month it is. And you know what? The weather isn't helping. I'm not sure where you are, but here in New England, it snowed today. Weird. April 4th, it snowed. So yeah, so if you're the praying type, pray that Jesus will resurrect my radio career. I'm praying for it. Gonna make a breakthrough. I'm gonna move to a new city. That's what I'm putting out there. So if you could help me do that, it'd mean the world to me. And then if you're new, hit subscribe, hit like. Welcome to the struggle. I'm Rob. I do this live stream every weekday. And I tell you to hit the notification bell because as you can see right now, it's pretty late. Or if you're watching this later, it's late at night. Just trust me, okay? It's not the solar lunar eclipse where we got a few minutes of dark during the day. This is nighttime. So I can just give you my word that I go live every weekday. I can't promise you what time. I can't give you my word on that. So if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified when I go live. You can join the chat, join me. We can have some dialogue in the comments. I love that. I'm going to talk about P. Diddley and his sons in a minute and who they hired for their lawyer. Well, if you've seen the thumbnail or not, read the title, you know. El Chapo, his lawyer, which I'd imagine if El Chapo hired this dude, he's got to have a good reputation, right? For defending criminals, being a criminal lawyer. You also got to think, somebody hiring a lawyer that quick, is that an insinuation that they maybe need it? Who knows? But we'll get into all that in a second. Speaking of today is April 4th, and it was 56 years ago today that Martin Luther King Jr. was murdered. So I wanted to bring that up because it is important that we remember his life, we honor his legacy, and for those who don't know, he was down in Memphis. Pride in the Name of Love. Bono wrote a verse. Is the whole song about it? I just remember the last verse. But yeah, that song Pride by U2 is about the death of Martin Luther King. And he was down getting ready to do the Poor People's March in support of the sanitation workers' strike. And what do you know? Martin Luther King wanting a economic bill of rights, where he was looking for a guaranteed income, secure full employment for people, and more low income or better available housing for people. And then he's taken out. Interesting. 56 years ago, Martin Luther King taken out, and we are 56 years later still fighting for those same things. The same things that Martin Luther King Jr. was fighting for: an economic bill of rights, basic necessities of a good full job, full employment, a guaranteed income, which we should have by now, and housing. All three of these things, 56 years later, we're still struggling to earn. And Martin Luther King, a union man, before he was murdered, he was down there for the sanitation workers strike. And if you know anything about sanitation workers strikes, there was one that happened in the 70s in New York, and the sanitation workers proved to the city how vital they were. Because as soon as the sanitation workers go on strike, guess what happens to your city? That's right, it gets filled with trash. And then diseases become rampant and nobody wants to be there anymore. So the sanitation workers are pretty important, and they flex that power by going on strike, and that's what MLK was down there to do. And what do you know? I guess the government and certain powers that be draw a line at civil rights and economic rights. Sad day today. So salute to MLK. Appreciate how he lived his life. You know, you can't ever forget that. We got to teach everybody about it. He can't just be, you know, remembered one day a year, and just for that, I have a dream speech. There was so much more depth to him. So it's important. If you got kids, teach them the backstory, that he was fighting for workers' rights as well as civil rights. Again, I'm going to get into the Pete Diddler sons, P. Diddy, Brother Love, whatever he goes by, Puff Combs, Puffy Daddies. I'll get into him and his sons. If you've never seen, I should have put a picture of his sons up as the thumbnail, because his sons, hate to judge a book by its cover, but YouTube has really forced me into that. Now you have to, everything on YouTube is judge a book by its cover. And his sons just have that, je ne sais entitled quoi, if that's how the French say it. And we're going to get into that whole thing in just a second. But I was listening to a radio show today. That's the other thing. Please, I hate to beg, you know, and I'm not going to beg for you to subscribe. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Seriously, it means the world to me. It's rad to see this community growing in solidarity. Truly means the world to me. But I will beg for your prayers for Jesus to resurrect my radio career. I'm hoping, I'm pushing this out there, so I just need more prayers going up there that one of these jobs comes through. I want to move to a new city. That's what I'm putting out there. I'm moving to a new city. City of the Evergreens. That's where I'm going. I'm hoping. So anyways, I was listening to this radio show, right? And it's a funny show. I love this show. This was the other reason why I really want to be a part of it. I love the dude who hosts the show. I've known him for a long time. I think he's hilarious. And they were talking, I don't know how they got onto Winnie the Pooh. How did they get into Winnie the Pooh? They think they started talking about kangaroos, and it somehow led to Winnie the Pooh. This is the other reason why I just love radio. I adore radio because it's such a, if you have ADD like me, it can at times feel like the brain waves of an ADD person and how the conversation kind of flows. And it's hilarious. They were talking about Winnie the Pooh, and they were asking, you know, how come Winnie the Pooh doesn't wear pants? And they were trying to figure it out. And they were like, is it because his name is Pooh? Is it because, I forget what else they said. But I really wanted to call them and say, you know, legend has it that with Winnie the Pooh, there was early appearances of Winnie the Pooh wearing pants. That's right. If you go back to the very early, the first appearance in Winnie the Pooh #1, Pooh's wearing pants. He's a bear. He's got his red shirt. He's got some matching red pants. But as his love of honey grew, nobody considers that. And this radio show didn't consider how much Pooh loved his honey. All right? Well, and if you've ever seen, if you don't know Winnie the Pooh, he imbibes on that honey all day long. I mean, let's just be real. Pooh's an addict. Winnie the Pooh is a full-blown addict. He can't live without the honey. And it's funny honey. And his you know, from the first appearance of Pooh in Winnie the Pooh #1, he had them pants on. He started chasing that funny honey. And as he chased the funny honey, the debauchery grew. And as the debauchery grew, and he started hanging out more with Eeyore, and you know how Eeyore's always losing his tail, and he kind of seems like he's always going through withdrawal, if you know what I mean. Eeyore always seems like he ain't grumpy for no reason. Let's put it like that. And as he hung out with Eeyore, on Skid Row, Winnie the Pooh just slowly, the progression of the funny honey hanging out with withdrawal Eeyore the donkey. He ended up losing his pants on one of those in one of those episodes, or whatever you would call it. And then he started having escapades with this pig, this little piglet, which was very questionable as well. Um, and I believe that's a backstory. Again, that's my loose knowledge on the lore behind Winnie the Pooh. I feel like this should be one of those episodes of NPR's lore. How did Winnie the Pooh end up with no pants? And is Piglet to blame? I feel like Piglet might have been trafficked. You know what I mean? Like, it really seems like Piglet doesn't fit in. He seems too young. Was he trafficked by Tigger into that Winnie the Pooh world? He just seems like, always out of place. And this is the adult side of the Winnie the Pooh stuff. I could be making all this up. Who knows? But it got me thinking too, because they were talking about kangaroos, and they were like, the girl on the show was like, I got a healthy fear of kangaroos, and I understand that. You ever seen a real kangaroo? I've seen them at the zoo. Yo, those things can stand up off their tail and kick you. And sometimes they look like they were working out. But you got to remember, this is what I wanted to tell her. I wish I was on this radio show where I could have called in, because I wanted to tell her, remember, everything in Australia was just shipped there because it was criminal in the UK. So I'm pretty sure the kangaroos started out as hedgehogs that were criminals. These were badass hedgehogs. These hedgehogs were committing crimes all over the place. Drug addicts, they needed their act cleaned up, and they were shipped off to Australia. And through evolution, we all know Darwin. We can thank him for that. I believe he birthed evolution, whatever you want to call it. They developed kangaroos, and I think kangaroos are poisonous. It might be. I don't think anybody's ever been bit by one, but I could be wrong. So I don't know. If you have your own theories on why Winnie the Pooh doesn't wear pants, leave it in the comments. Hit subscribe. This is the stuff I bring you. The lore behind Winnie the Pooh. Nobody discusses this. All right, let's get into the diddly stuff. So, can you hear that? I was trying to ignore it. Like, I'm really trying to ignore this, but this cat. It's funny. Like, when the cat knows I'm listening, she knocks harder. Give me a second. Jesus. Come in here. What? I'm sorry. Ooh. Sorry. Hi. Do you understand I'm doing stuff? You do not care. You know how late it is? Really? Because, like, I just need, like, 10 minutes. 10 minutes without you smushing your head against me. I'm very sorry about this. I have a very needy cat. Come here. Show them. We don't have Grumpy Cat. We have Smug Cat. Yeah, look at how smug that cat is. Are you really going to start looking at the corner again? Okay. Can you chill out? Okay. Let's see if this cat will chill. Nope. Probably not. Listen, you can't be pushing all up against me. I have something. You can't be taking your claws in them. All right. Hit subscribe. Please. I feel like an evil villain right now. I feel like an evil villain. All right. Can you lay down? Again, I apologize. My cat, just like my dog, will bang on the door. You know what? My kids, my cat, my dog, as soon as I come into my office and shut the door, they all like to bang on it. They're like, no, you don't get a minute. Oh, no, you do. What do you think you're doing? You think you're going to have some personal time? I don't think so. Can you please cut it out? Just go sit up here, okay? There we go. That's where the cat likes to sit. Let's be honest. All right. So now, what are you going to do? You can't. You just need to chill, please. I feel like the dude in Inspector Gadget. What was his name? Remember in the episodes? Didn't he have a cat? Pretty sure he did. All right. P. Diddler's sons, they hired El Chapo's lawyer. I put one link. That's the other thing. Whenever we talk about stuff, if there's a news story, I'll try to put the link the in the description. this, does anybody else have a cat that makes the pet it? This cat, stop! Oh my god, this cat is driving me nuts because I just want to talk about P. Diddler's kids and Jeffrey Lickman. That's El Chapo's lawyer. Stop, please, cat. Just give me a second, okay? My God. Look at this smug cat. Look at this smug cat. Show him. Show him how smug you are. Does that cat not look like it could kill you? This is what I mean. Sometimes I don't have options. Okay, I know. I love you too. But I really, I have to be able to use my hands. This cat will just find out where your hand is and be like, okay, you can pet me here. All right, there you go. You okay? You all right? Jeffrey Lickman. And by the way, not only did I put the link to there's many articles about this. I just picked one of them. But also I wanted to put this. Can I really not talk? I can't even use my hands to talk because this cat is just going to be like, pet me. See? Look. Okay. I get it. Yep. All right. I'll pet you. It's going to be a tough live stream. I'm very sorry. I know. Yep. You can start purring. Okay. Why don't you just do ASMR videos, cat? We'll probably get more views doing that. Can I just, here, go over to the speaker. Purr. Smug cat. Oh, I gotta make this cat a meme. So I put the link in the description, and I wanted to tell you, if you want to watch a really great informative video with lawyers, go to Law and Crime Network. They just posted a video 5 hours ago, Law and Crime Network, talking to an Atlanta entertainment attorney about this hire of El Chapo's lawyer, Jeffrey Lichtman, and what this means, what the potential is in this, and because they're claiming, Justin and Christian Combs, P. Diddler's kids, they're claiming that, they picked up this lawyer to look into the excessive force the police used in the raids. There wasn't really excessive force. I mean, listen, I hate just as much as the next guy seeing these tanks come rolling down these streets. The militarization of police and these armored vehicles where you'd think we were in like Iraq or something. It's just, it's a bit much, especially when you consider, like, if somebody's going to be homeless or somebody's hungry, they don't have, like, these armored food trucks to roll up and feed the homeless. They don't have these big moving trucks to come and help people, single moms or whatever, move. They have no resources for our society like that. But when it's time to punish people, oh, they're rolling out the big guns. They got these armored tank looking things, Humvees, battering rams. The police look like they're about to go on a paintball vacation out into the Rockies, the way they're suited up. I mean, it's embarrassing that that's where so much of our money goes, to willing and ready to punish us. But when we need help, they're like, sorry, no resources for it. Sorry, don't know what to do. But if you commit a crime, we'll come and get you. I hate that about our society. It bothers me. In fact, I bring this up. There's a lot of times, if there's a police story anywhere newsworthy near you, go read the article and look at, there's usually photos. And what's always haunting to me is that there'll be like 30 cop cars parked down that street for like, a crime that probably could have been handled by 3 cop cars. You know what I mean? Like, at what point is it too many cop cars? 10, 20? That just happened the other day. This dad took his life and he basically ended his whole family. I suspect it was over money issues, and I said, what a gross display of how our society views things, because there's 30 cop cars up and down his street, but there were no resources to help him. There weren't 30 cop car or 30 emergency vehicles there willing to, because you don't get charged by the police. You don't get charged for your ride to prison or jail. You don't get charged for their help. You pay your taxes for it. But if an ambulance shows up because you're having a mental breakdown, ooh, guess what? You might go bankrupt. Ample thought. What's up, man? I'm wrapping up in a minute. I'm tired. This isn't gonna be a long. I've already been on for 20 minutes. Damn it, cat. Kitty. I didn't realize how long I've been on for. It's the cat. The cat. Look at smug cat. This should be the thumbnail. No, do the smug face. Do the smug face. The cat hit me with its tail. Oh my god. Inspector Gadget. Yeah, who was the dude at the end of Inspector Gadget? So this is why they're hiring. Please stop doing that, cat. This is why they're and please subscribe if you haven't already. And for those who have, thank you so much. For real, virtual hug. I wish I could hug you. Virtual daps. I love seeing more people join the family in solidarity, and plus, it's been such a hard time for me. It really means the world. So this is why they claimed, and I watched this Law and Crime Network video with this Atlanta entertainment lawyer, and he was like, this case holds no water. I know these Combs boys, Diddley Combs' sons, are saying like they hired this lawyer to investigate the raids, but like the lawyers were saying, there were allegations of weapons. They had to come in fully strapped. They had to come in the way they did because of the serious allegations, trafficking, weapons, XYZ. And when they were leaving, they found weapons. So they're like, they didn't think they were hiring this guy, this El Chapo lawyer, to look into the raids, because they were like, there's nothing there. Judges in multiple different states had to sign off on this. Not only were there allegations, but they came out of there with proof of the allegations. Subscribe if you're watching, or the cat gets it. More like, or I get it from the cat. This cat is tough as nails. Let me tell you that. And this cat will let you know. This cat climbs up me. No joke. So it's not like the cat can knock on doors and stuff like that. Like, if I don't pick up this cat will run up my back and sit on my shoulder. And that is terrifying. Okay? Don't ever turn your back to a cat. That's the other lesson I've learned personally. And I've taught my family that. Because if you go to the zoo and there's tigers up close, that happened with my son. No, cat. No. See? The cat knows. If you turn your back to a cat, they will attack you. That's why tigers have the back of their ears look like eyes. So nobody can sneak up on them. But the same goes for these little cats. Turn your back on him. There is smug cat. There he is. You turn your back on him, they'll climb right up you. Or maybe your cat doesn't do that. My cat does that, and I thought it was weird, and they were like, they'll grow out of it. And no, now an adult cat climbs up me. So anyways, there's no weight to the claims that they can look into excessive force, especially when the allegations were proven so far from what we know. God, I got cat hair all over me. But this El Chapo lawyer, you know who else he's represented? Not just El Chapo, but John Gotti Jr., The Game, and then Fat Joe. If you don't know who Fat Joe is, look into him. He is the Fire Festival of humans. No, what are you doing, cat? Jumping into all my fireworks. Okay. The cat's behind me. I'm going to pray that it doesn't jump up and attack me. If that happens, I might have to go. I'm just gonna keep my eye on what the cat's doing. You know, it's just a good rule of thumb. Never take your eye off a cat. That cat's planning something. So, anyways, Fat Joe. He is. If the Fire Festival was a human, that's who Fat Joe would be, or that's what Fat Joe is. Fat Joe is a, what is it? MLN, the multi-level marketing. He's a promoter of that, especially to his own communities, people that really can't afford that and can't afford to be scammed out of stuff. Fat Joe is just a terrible human being. Fat Joe, if you're watching this, yeah, you garbage. You're rubbish. So, I mean, if this is the lawyer who's willing to represent somebody who is the human equivalent of the Fire Festival in human form, that's what Fat Joe is, then, it speaks volumes about the Diddler kids. Because they are alleged, it's alleged, his older son, I think it's his older son, P. Diddler's older son, Justin, is named in the first lawsuit by Little Rod. Ah! That cat's not going. What are you doing? No. See? No. I knew it. This cat was about to jump all the way up on me. Show him, smug cat. Show him. About to attack me. Hold on. Stop. Ample thought. Let me read some of these comments. Subscribe if you're watching to the cat. Oh, I already read that one. Ashton Kutcher said there's a lot I can't say about Diddy in a resurface video. That's funny coming from Ashton Kutcher, because he wrote a letter to the judge for Danny Masterson. So he could say whatever he wanted for Danny Masterson. What can he say about Diddley? They became friends in 2003, and now he's preparing to be subpoenaed in the Diddley trial. Really? Ashton Kutcher. I wonder if Ashton will write a letter of recommendation of what good moral character his friend Diddy has, just like his friend Danny Masterson. And I wonder if that's the kiss of death for these people. Ashton Kutcher vouching for you. Cat. Ah! See? I told you something was coming. Called it. I called it. Please don't attack me right now. Please. I'm begging you. Please. Okay. I might get attacked by a cat. Okay. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to bring you the live stream every weekday, 5 days a week. And that's why I say, subscribe, because I'm bringing you this information, some kind of entertainment 5 days a week. Even if I'm getting mauled by a cat. I might get attacked. Again, I'm trying to let the cat be. Queen cat. Stop. But Justin, P. Diddler's first son, named in the first lawsuit by Little Rod. There are rumors, speculation, allegations that his second son, who looks much more like P. Diddler and much more arrogant, he very much looks the type of what he's accused of, if that makes any sense. Again, allegedly. Just the photos, you see him. He's just like a pompous ass. Like, bro, you weren't in all the Biggie videos. Stop acting like you were. Stop looking like you got that swag. Okay? You were just born into this, You didn't hit a triple, you woke up on third. Stop. I hate this kid. Well, especially if these allegations are true. Okay? Disgusting stuff. Especially, that's the other thing that really bugs me about this. It's like, remember, these people have everything. Did you see the houses that got raided? Homes that we could never imagine living in. They have all the money they want, all the access, all the power they want, and they do the most heinous crimes. The most heinous, like stuff they don't need to do, but they do it. Why? Because they like to flex the power. it's so disturbing. That's really the most disturbing part. These aren't people pushed to society's limits, feel like I don't even want to say like feel like you don't have a choice because you're making a choice to do these kind of crimes. But it's not like these are outcasts of society who like have some kind of vendetta against society. These are people who are the most privileged people in the world. The most privileged people. Anything money can buy, they got. Never have to worry about rent, food, heat, nothing. And these people commit the most heinous acts. Scumbags. Scumbags. So it's been alleged that the diddler kids, the Comies, the Combers, that let's just say the roofied apple doesn't assault far from the tree, if we could put it like that. You get what I'm saying? The roofied apple doesn't assault far from the tree. You get it? Hey, do. So these lawsuits that are coming and the raids could be indicative of criminal charges. And again, I highly recommend checking out Law and Crime Network here on YouTube. I was going to call it YouTube. And if you, cattail mic. Uh-oh. That cat might creep up on me. No, the cat wants to leave now. All right, go ahead. Yes. See, these cats are... Lichtman literally said that it was evil for law enforcement to tell any reporters that they were looking for evidence of trafficking, not the heinousness of a potential crime. Yeah, but he's trying to, so essentially, and again, Law and Crime Network, amazing for this intel. They were like, this Little Rod suit could just be Little Rod trying to distance himself from what potentially could have been coming anyways. There was kind of federal investigation into this anyways, so Little Rod could just be like, yeah, I was there, but I didn't want any part in it. And they were also talking about how these could be racketeering and RICO charges when you consider the scope of this across multiple states, again, trafficking, and now the involvement of not only P. Diddley at the top, but both of his sons with these allegations. And what they're thinking is they're using this Lichtman, this Jeffrey, whatever his name is, whatever his white guy name is, 40-year-old white guy, 50-year-old white guy name, Jeffrey Bezos. They're using Lichtman to kind of get out in the public eye too, because right now, every YouTube channel, I'm doing live streams on it, TMZ, everyone's covering everything. And if you go out there, today I watched this hour-long video on the Meek Mill P. Diddy case, or P. Diddy allegations, or proof, or whatever it is. Yo. By the way, I'm just glad that like my spidey sense, my sixth sense, has kind of been on point with some things. Like I never liked Meek Mill. His story was compelling. I don't think he should have been in prison for that long, but he ain't a good rapper, and he definitely doesn't come across like he's of this high moral ground and epic storyteller, cornerstone of the hip hop community. He just had a crazy story and capitalized on that. And now this stuff with Diddley, you can go look at it yourself. Kim's tripping. Hey, what's up, Kim's? Ample thought. Looking at the security footage, zero excessive force. Yeah, there wasn't. Essentially, what they're saying the excessive force is that they pulled up in armored trucks. I'm like, welcome to America. Like that happens every day here. Are you unaware of why people have been saying, defund the police? It's because they're militarized everywhere. Like that's standard procedure at this point. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. If more than 2 cop cars are going, they're probably bringing an armored tank. They're rolling up with like some ground-to-air missiles and a couple of Humvees. Who knows? What is the tank called? What's that? That was that German tank? What was the tank that was like really? No, they're saying their son was abused. Mm, yeah, when he got brought out in handcuffs. But again, you know, welcome to America. This is when you really show off your privilege, Diddy and his sons. You're just lucky you weren't shot. A lot of people just get shot. They don't even bring you out in handcuffs. The Panzer Tank, is that it? The like small one that was highly maneuverable. It was like could make its way through city streets. It was like, you know, the new, I forget. I watched some history channels on YouTube. You know what, one video, I got to find out who did it, but there was one YouTube video that I had to look up because I couldn't figure out how they figured out to have the planes in World War One and then eventually in World War Two shoot and not hit the front propeller. And the way the inventor of this, that literally when they pulled the trigger, it would freeze the thing for a split second so the bullets wouldn't hit it. Anyways, if you want to look into that stuff, I don't know why, but it would like broke my mind like a Rubik's Cube. And I was like, how are they shooting bullets while flying a plane? This doesn't make sense. And I looked it up and they explained the whole thing. Physics, engineering. Incredible. It was really, really fascinating. And finally, my brain was unbroken because I could not figure out how they were shooting bullets and not blowing off that front propeller and flying out of the ground. I mean, out of the sky, falling out of the sky. It turns out it's a really nifty device, and then it developed, and here we are. Airfare war airfare, air warfare. I think that's how you say it. The Panzer Tank, that was it. Yeah. So that was like the highly maneuverable one. I'm not giving the cops any ideas to buy a bunch of Panzer tanks. I'm just kidding. This is all a joke. Except for the privilege thing. Because Diddy, you and your kids are showing your privilege right now. A lot of people don't get those chances to get pulled out in handcuffs. They shoot first and ask questions later. I think that's like on the side of the police cars. To shoot first and ask questions later. Isn't that the motto here in America? By the way, hit subscribe. I'm always trying to bring you something entertaining. It means the world for you. It's been a very trying time for me. So when I see these new subscribers, I'm so grateful. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much. For real. It's been a silver lining for me. I don't go too much into my story and what's been going on right now, but I could also ask if you could pray for me to, if you could pray that Jesus resurrects my radio career, just like he did last weekend over Easter, how Jesus resurrected himself. If you could pray that he resurrects my radio career, that would mean the world to me. I need as many prayers as I can. I'm putting it out there that I'm getting this job. I'm moving to a new state. Things are going to start happening. So I need your prayers. I need your help to make it happen. And the great thing is if this all happens, I'm going to be documented. I'm not going to stop doing this live every weekday. So if I'm driving across the country, I'm bringing you with me. It'd be amazing. Amazing travel vlog. We'll take a break from the news entertainment. Canada is no better. LOL. Really, Kim? Are you talking about the police in Canada? Like the Mounties? Are they all Mounties, or do you have some local cops? Canada is better in every way. You have Norm Macdonald, and you still have Eugene Levy. You got this. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. I need your prayers. I need those positive affirmations. We need to manifest this. Yes, they love horses. Do they have armored horses for the Mounties? Because if they got armored horses up in Canada for the Mountie cops, then you're right. It might be just as bad. I just keep thinking of, what's that He-Man horse? Was it Stridor? That robot horse? Because we got robot dog cops here in America. If you haven't seen in New York, they got that robot dog, that Boston Robotics robot dog cop. Where it's like, if you see that dog cop coming, you better have a bottle of water with you. Just soak that thing. You just watch it short circuit. Be like, beat the robot cop. Robot dog cop. I'm surprised that's not going to be like a sitcom on CBS. We did make a movie series out of robot cops, RoboCop. There no spinoff there? Robo Dog Cop? Maybe it's too hard to say. They trample people with him in Ottawa. Look it up. Oh, that's horrible. I'm not gonna joke about that. I will look it up. That's a nightmare. It's sad, man. It really bums me out when our societies, the societies we have claimed to be a part of in choosing how they roll out and what we do with our money and our collective society. It really bums me out when there's they're off the leash to punish and enforce things, and they're totally held back and only give thoughts and prayers when people need help. And thoughts and prayers, and not like the genuine, like, I'm praying for you way, but in like the, oh, thoughts and prayers can't help you, which we witness more and more often. And it's the other reason why I do this live stream every weekday. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know when I go live. I do this to bring that to our consciousness, that if we join together in solidarity, we are the ones who are supposed to decide how our society is run. Remember, money is fake. The laws are made up by men, sometimes women. This civilization was just designed by humans. It is flawed, and we have the power, if we come together, to say, no, we don't like that, and yes, we want to do this. So if we collectively want better education for our kids, we can say that's where we need to, but we got to do it together. That's the most important thing. So that's why you see these big movements coming up, and through the past, because when people start to understand, like, hey, we have the power, we can decide, like, hey, we're done with this. The ruling class, Nancy Pelosi and your insider traders, get the out of here. There's only a couple of you, and there's a whole lot of us. So remember that, okay? Raise your vibes to find your tribe. Ooh, I like that. Kim's tripping. I am going to steal that. I absolutely love that. Where did you get that? Did you make that up? Or did you hear that from someone? Raise your vibes to find your tribe. Gorgeous. I love that. Rob, I like Kim stripping. I do too. That is such, I love the raise your vibes to find your tribe. Maybe Mounties would do less damage with hockey pucks. Nah, you ever been hit by a hockey puck? I'm surprised most hockey players aren't toothless, because those pucks are terrifying. This is part of the reason why, well, no, I can't ice skate, but all right, so what were we talking about? Damn, this went far off the rails. I had more stuff to talk about too, but I got so lost. Well, most have dental work. Yeah, that's actually true. My buddy that I worked with in radio here in Boston, LB, shout out to Lyndon Byers, the enforcer for the Bruins, who is a Saskatchewan. The only reason I know where Saskatchewan is because of my good friend LB. And they are toothless. Sorry, all hell broke loose. You know what? This is my favorite thing about the live stream. I can have stuff planned out, and I'd rather just talk with people in the comments. It's so much more fun. Plus, I'm a little delusional because it is pretty late. But my buddy LB, look him up. Amazing human, one of the greatest humans ever. And the funniest part about that is, like, a lot of people I worked with, especially in radio, they would put on like a tough guy. And they would be mean to people, brash and all this. But, push came to shove, they couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight, like Jay-Z says. And I don't want to quote Jay-Z because I feel like something's coming down the pipe for him. But they just weren't tough when it came mano a mano, And then you got my friend LB, who was paid by the Bruins to go on the ice and fight people. Like, go look up his reel for the Boston Bruins, Lyndon Byers, number 34, and you'll see he was an enforcer. And just a true tough guy, like hard as nails, you know what I mean? And his whole life story, hard as nails. And he was the genuinely sweetest dude you've ever met. Will give you the shirt off his back many times. I don't even want to go into the giving he did, but saved my ass. Didn't ever ask for anything back. It was never a loan. It was always a gift. This dude helped me so much, and he didn't bat an eye at it. Like, he was just, like, emotionally, like, just everything. Like, just the fucking raddest dude. I can't even explain it. And it's so funny how a lot of men think like tough guys are just always tough and, you know, like they're ready to fight anyone, da da da. And what they don't realize is a lot of tough guys are like the sweetest, nicest, kindest, most polite, gentle, understanding, compassionate, caring, and pathetic men. But if you cross that line with them, game over. You know, or if they got to go switch into that gear, game over. Um, LB, little buddy, Saskatchewan Kenobi. Um, LB, I don't think it was little buddy. Go look him up. He played for the Bruins. He's so funny. He gave me autographed photos of him. So I got him somewhere. I locked him up because I never wanted to lose him. But he's just the greatest. And LB, if you get to see this, buddy, I miss you and I love you so much. I'll text him tomorrow. Um, just a great, great guy. I was so blessed to be able to work with him in radio. Really, that was like there's been a few highlights in my career. You know, it's funny because my daughter will always ask me, like, you know, who's the most famous person you worked with in radio or you got to interview in radio? And she'll want to know about like the people that I got to interview, which, listen, it runs the gamut from Chris Evans to Chris Cornell to Jay and Silent Bob to, I'm trying to, like D.L. Hughley, and then think of any comic, Louis C.K., like, you know, tons and tons of people. But for me, it was always like the people I worked with, like LB. I grew up listening to him. I grew up watching him fight for the Bruins. And then I come into the studio every day and I worked across the studio board from him, you know, and busting jokes with him, making him laugh on the air. Nothing greater in life. To make one of your heroes laugh is just hands down. And then there were other people that I worked with that, you know, I didn't grow up listening to. He was on the air in Boston, but other people I've worked with and want to work with. That's what, again, pray for me to get this job at radio. I am moving to this city. I am moving there. It's done. It's written. I'm going. I'm getting this job. I love this show. I hope this guy still loves me. I've known him for 20 years now. Off and on. Again, like, interviewed Montel Williams and Lennox Lewis. Oh, and Rob and Sherry Zombie. Yeah, Rob Zombie's cool. He's from Haverhill. He's like 20 minutes away from, or that's where he grew up. He probably lives in Hollyweird now, with his cool white guy dreadlocks, unless he cut him off. He does good movies. That's what Rob Zombie does. But so anyway, so what I was saying is like really for me, the special parts of my radio career were the people I get to work with. Especially when you're in the trenches like that. It's weird to say trenches about the entertainment field, but it's a different kind of trenches, you know, like sometimes it's an emotional labyrinth you have to figure your way through because of some of the egos involved and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a unique experience. That's why, you know, people will qualify certain things as like, having an understanding between two people that experience that same thing, whether it be like alcoholism, addiction, survivor's guilt, whatever. Like, I think the entertainment business kind of qualifies in that too. Just like comics qualifies that. Montel, when? 2007 Montel? Because you got to remember, Montel has gone through the different phases. What was he selling in those infomercials? Remember, that was probably around 2007. What did Montel... Here's your question to play at home. What did Montel Williams sell on the infomercials? Montel Williams infomercial. Does somebody already know? Oh, I forgot. Oh, you think he has MS? Oh. New Wave Oven Pro. Oh yeah, he does have MS. What does Montel Williams do commercial? Jesus. Montel Williams infomercial. No, he did some infomercials. I'm telling you, the New Wave Oven Pro. He was doing LifeLock, Living with Montel Williams, 2013. Yeah, I'm telling you, this dude, I think he had many, many infomercials. And I'm going to be honest, I got no comment on Montel. I haven't read up on him. I just remember him from infomercials and a little bit of his his Jerry Springer-esque show. Yeah, I got no thought. So he has MS. Your wife has MS. It's not sad yet. Yeah, I don't remember if his talk show was good. I know that Jerry Springer, like when me and my wife met, she would put on Jerry Springer, and I banned her from doing it. I was like, I cannot have this rubbish on in my house. I can't. I can't hear it. I can't, I just couldn't deal with it. And I mean, I grew up in a time where you could buy Jerry Springer's unaired, uncensored bits on VHS. Um, and when you're younger, there's an allure to that. And I knew people who had the tapes, and you'd want to see it because it was the uncensored stuff. The races fighting people and people throwing shoes from the crowd and chairs, everybody chanting Steve, 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 which was a funny bit we would do on the radio, or that I would start to chant Steve at any time people started to get into it. But I don't know, distance myself from. I made him laugh. He's also a former Marine, so I gave him crap for that. That's cool. That's cool. I think Montel would be an interesting interview. Now, Geraldo, that's a dude who just needs to disappear from Earth. All right. Is Geraldo, is he still on Fox News? He's such a. Remember when he opened like the safe? What was it, Al Capone's safe? And then he got his nose broken out. Anyways, all right, we're going way off track again. Kim's tripping. Thank you for stopping by. Springer was ghetto AF. And at some point, I don't know what happened to me, man. Like my late 20s, 30s, you get sober, you start to things taste different, in your ears and your mind, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't do this. It's poison. It was just poisonous. It just felt venomous, And my wife would still put it on, and I would shut it off. And then I'd come home the next day, it'd be on. And I'd be like, yo, I'm going to cancel the TV. Well, no, I'd never do that. I wanted to watch sports or whatever I was watching. But I just hated. It just gave me the willies as I got older. I was like, I just felt bad for the people being exploited. And for the fakeness of it that would rile other people up. It was just so, I don't know how else to put it, poisonous. Bad for our society, bad for humanity as a collective. And speaking of that, please join in solidarity. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go live again tomorrow. Every weekday, sometimes twice, sometimes late at night, sometimes on the weekends. So, Ample Thought, thank you so much. I know I got to get out of here too. I'm exhausted. Kim, thank you. Ample Thought, thank you. Everybody else who has subscribed, thank you so much. And please, pray that Jesus resurrects my radio career just like he did himself over Easter weekend. I need those prayers. I need that energy. I'm getting this job. I'm moving to this city. I cannot wait. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to bring you with us. Peace, salute, and hit that like button. Leave something in the comments. And what do you think about P. Diddy's kids hiring El Chapo as lawyer, Jeffrey Bezos Lickman, whatever his name is, Heinlich. Does that make him look more guilty? Yo, if you immediately hire a lawyer, you know what they say. You look so guilty to me. You look like guilty. Looking a little guilty. But who knows? Maybe, maybe. You know what was more shocking for me? Can I just be honest real quick? I was more shocked that they didn't already have a lawyer. I was like, you are P. Diddy's kids and you don't have a dude on retainer? Wow. You guys are sloppy. And I bet they gathered all kinds of evidence from your house. And immediately you were like, Dad, you didn't tell us we needed a lawyer. Did I do that? And then they retained one. The most infamous one out there. Yo, is OJ's team still around? Didn't the Kardashian dad, wasn't he hologram? Could they hire hologram Kardashian dad for their lawyer? Who knows? Maybe they could. You know what? That's the big fight in AI right now. Let's be honest. That's the big fight. Are holograms going to be allowed to try cases in the court of law? that's what we're looking at in the future, folks. So get involved, read about AI, because if not, a hologram lawyer could be putting you in prison forever. Okay? All right. This is the stuff we're going to learn here on the live stream. Thanks for joining. What is the Kardashian dad name? What is his name? You have prepaid legal and I don't break the law. See, I remember the people that used to come up to me outside the courthouse. They would give me those prepaid legal cards. And that's the craziest thing about this Diddy thing. I'm like, Diddy didn't have a lawyer on retainer? They had to go out and hire one? Yo, suspect. That just tells how entitled he was. He was like, I'm untouchable. I don't need a lawyer. Then they were like, plata, surprise, raiding all your homes. And he's like, oh man, go get the lawyer. What is the Kardashian dad name? Kardashian dad name. Oh, that's all it was. Robert Kardashian? Really? Oh, I thought it was something else. Oh, Caitlyn Jenner. That's the other one. But that's not their dad. That's not the one who birthed them out of his wiener. Robert Kardashian. Didn't Kanye make him into a hologram to say happy birthday to Kim or something? Didn't he spend like $1 billion to make her dad into a hologram? I wonder if the Diddy boys can get, because wasn't Robert Kardashian part of OJ's team? So I wonder if the Diddy boys can hire hologram Robert Kardashian. Who knows? And is that legal? We don't know. AI we got to get Chat GPT. Chad GPT. That's the rich guy AI. Chad GPT. I'm exhausted. Oh, stress can do a number on your brain, let me tell you that. It also ages you quicker. So if you're looking to, I know like the whole trend is like you want to look younger, but if you want to look older, just get stressed out. It works miracles on your bags under your eyes and your crow's feet and the gray hair. So that's my beauty tip for tonight. And yeah. Hit subscribe, please. I'm doing my best to entertain you through this crisis. I'm surviving. And say a prayer for me. Jesus, resurrect my radio career. All right. Let it be your will, not my way. But I believe this can happen. And I can do it with your prayers. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Salute to all who have joined and subscribed to the channel. I am very grateful for you. Thank you so much. And hit the notification bell, because tomorrow's a weekday, I think. I think tomorrow's Friday. So that means I go live again tomorrow, and we'll talk about some more stuff. And any new developments in the P. Diddy case, trust me, I'm bringing it to you. Go hit subscribe to the Law and Crime Network. I'm telling you, they're on top of it, and the guests that they have on are usually all lawyers, and they can create great where they give great commentary content on these cases. So it's really, really fascinating. And maybe we'll get to talk about the other stories that I had planned for. Like Paris Hilton is doing some good in the world. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Paris Hilton. She's doing the things that I complain other celebs do. The other good celebrities do. And Paris Hilton's doing it. So we'll talk about all that tomorrow if we can get to it. My cat leaves me alone and, whatever else. Thank you. Seha, Ample Thought, Kim's tripping. And salute. Peace.